Now with the pull-up test, people fail for two reasons. One, strength. They're unable to get the reps they want to get, even if they can hold the proper positions. Two is holding those proper positions. If you're unable to keep the scaps glued to the rib cage, they're not wrapping around properly. Every time that you eccentrically load, you're shrugging, your traps are taking over, your lats aren't taking that load eccentrically. We're failing the test without even realizing we're failing the test. So this is gonna be an opportunity to kind of reset, make sure you're doing the right form, and then we're stacking on those reps. If you can already do a ton of reps, this is your chance to back off. Make sure you're not just pulling with your arms, doing pull-ups, but not doing them how your body was meant to do them. Our first piece of the puzzle is isometrics. If you can't hold isometrics in these proper positions, if you're not able to control your scaps in those positions, we're gonna fail the test automatically. In this test, there are 3 different isometric positions, which is why it's so important, right? You can start in a dead hang, active hang is 1, halfway is 2, top position is 3. In all of those positions, we wanna make sure, again, that scap is wrapped, depressed, and making sure that we are pulling with our lat concentrically, holding isometrically, and on the way down, eccentrically letting it lengthen. Now, I'm at fault here as well. I tend to have a very poor depression on my left side. I'm working on that in my own training right now. If your scap can't hold that position, you're going to automatically leak some of that force. Your arms are gonna take over. Your traps are gonna take over. If you've ever noticed you have muscle imbalances from side to side, maybe one trap is bigger than the other, maybe one lat is bigger than the other, this is probably you. This is part of that problem. So make sure as you do your pull-ups, you're kind of watching yourself in a mirror and paying attention to what's happening. Are you shrugging? Are you able to feel that lat engage, or is your scap just elevating? And that's where the positions matter. Holding a position, being able to feel yourself in that position, isolate it really nicely will allow you to feel that engagement at those different joint angles and really cue your brain and nervous system as to whether or not that muscle is engaging properly. And that's where these regressions are so important. If you watch my left side and I do a good rep and I retract everything down and then I try to keep that shoulder blade down as that lat lengthens, that's really hard for me to do without really thinking about it. My body wants to pull that down, and then my body wants that shoulder blade to pop up, and you'll see my trap engage much faster there. So again, this is kind of how my body wants to do it, and you'll notice those traps rising up versus being able to pull down, keep my shoulder blades down, and then properly allow that lat to engage. I immediately feel that more through my lat, which is gonna be important. So some really easy opportunities here to do those isometrics are to do them with less load, right? So you can get a bar, set it up whatever height you need to, have your feet on the ground, and just work, keeping your arms straight, keeping that shoulder blade wrapped, and pulling without your arms bending. My range of motion is very small here. My shoulders feel a little clunky because they're not used to it, but this will show some progress. If you get good at holding those positions, holding an isometric, you don't even need to do scap pull-ups like I was doing. You can hold an isometric, you would progress to just an assisted. And again, everyone's gonna look at these like, oh, you're regressing, you can't do a real pull-up. But if you can't hold positions, you can't do a real pull-up. So getting into this position, holding, makes it a little bit easier, takes a little bit of load off your body, and allows you to hold that position, build the muscle that is supposed to be working, that currently is too weak to work the right way. So you can go lat pull downs, hold isometrics there. You can do inverted rows, hold isometrics there, and then obviously get into a band assisted before you get into your body weight pull-ups. Now our second focus point is gonna be on the eccentric. We already mentioned it a little bit with that slow lowering with that lat pull down. Now the key here is that the reason we're doing this test, this metronome test with these different positions, is we're testing isometrics, we're testing eccentrics, and your ability to hold those positions. This is where a lot of people are gonna fail without realizing they're failing. They're gonna go down and be like, I'm going down, I'm doing it, I'm grinding out the rep, but their traps are just kicking in the whole time. Their lats aren't even doing the job. Their biceps start overloading. That is not what we're looking for. So now if we go back into our regressions really quickly, a big issue is you pull down. Let's say you do a great job, you control up the proper way rep 1, you do a great job, you control up the proper way rep 2. Now a lot of people's problem is, let's say you go for rep 3 and on the way up, your lats are fatigued, so now we start shrugging, right? Now from this shrug position, are people aware and are they depressing again and then pulling? Or are you staying shrugged and you start pulling? As you can see, that scap doesn't come back down, that scap stays elevated. So being able to be aware of when that's happening is another big part of this eccentric component. And then again, we're using our regressions, maybe as a warm-up if we're wanting to do pull-ups, or as our main working set, but we're pulling ourselves up or lifting ourselves up with assistance, and then we're just focused on that control. Bring yourself down under control, shoulder blades stay wrapped. Do not let that shoulder blade pop up. I'm thinking about it really hard. That left one wants to pop up all the time. And just make sure you're loading it. As you get better, you can slowly take your feet away, force that muscle to contract a little bit harder, but dial in those regressions. You're not weaker than you were before. You're just trying to activate things the right way. I cannot preach that enough. And now if you're aware, movement is movement. Movement is dynamic. The isometric and the eccentric are there to establish the strength and the stability that we need. We need to do dynamic movements. You need to create synchronization of all of those muscles, rotator cuff muscles, the stabilizers of the shoulder, the big movers of the shoulder, all need to work in unison. So we'll dive into some dynamic movements. I've shown them earlier in the video, so we'll roll through these really quickly, but you need to make sure we're pairing up those movements, building before we get back to the test and just train the test. So scap pull-ups are first. It's just joint level awareness. Are you able to feel those scaps move? And if you are, you can kind of move on. If you can't, spend some time here and get that awareness to sink in. Full range of motion assisted pull-ups is where we're gonna be able to build that requisite strength and be able to make sure that we're building that control in the scap. You should feel that lat lengthen all the way down, but now we're able to build out those full reps and we're able to start building that lat control through the scap. Inverted rows that are more horizontal, or even these assisted pull-ups, are a great way to make sure that you're building strength. You can use them as a warm-up, you can use them as a finisher under fatigue. If you can't control your scaps and control that eccentric on a movement like this or an inverted row, it's definitely not gonna be showing up on your pull-up. So this is a good chance to get everything activated before the session, or when you're already fatigued on a back day, it's a great finisher to make sure under fatigue, you're able to maintain that control. Our last exercise is just gonna be that straight arm pull down. Now, I love these because now we're taking away the elbow joint, right? There is no longer the elbow, the bicep playing part here. If you can't feel your lat lengthen here, this is a great place to start. Spend some time. Make sure you can feel that lat stay depressed. And on the way up here, right here, feeling that lat stretch through the whole motion. All these drills do the same thing. They test and they expose where you might be leaking force, where most of us are. As you can see, where I even am sometimes with my pull-ups. So slow things down, spend some time, and run through these as assessment tools to see if you're balanced side to side and if your lats are actually engaging. Now, if you pass all these tests, get back in, do more pull-ups, run the test as training. That will make you better. But if you failed these tests, spend more time. Get your lats to engage, break things down, and slow your training down. There is nothing wrong with regressions. Fix the problem head on, then go back to the test, retest with better technique, and build from there. Because that's how your score is gonna improve, and that's how over the course of the decades, you're gonna have healthy shoulders, you're gonna get that giant lat spread that you're looking for, and you're gonna be able to train a little bit better, a little bit longer. So never settle with yesterday. Hopefully this helped. Drop some comments. Which movements do you fail at that you didn't realize you were failing at?